Good evening, and welcome back to WNBA Trending. I'm Ava, and tonight we're diving into one of the lighter but still fascinating storylines making the rounds in the women's basketball world. The Indiana Fever have had their fair share of ups and downs this season, battling through injuries, tough losses, and moments of promise led by rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. But one viral moment that recently captured fans' attention was a picture featuring several Fever players, Clark included, lined up together, all in their game day attire but noticeably nursing different injuries. What could have been a gloomy sight for fans turned into something that sparked conversations, memes, and even smiles across social media. The photo in question showed a handful of Indiana players sitting together on the bench or near the scorer's table, all visibly dealing with injuries, whether it was taped ankles, bandaged knees, or protective gear. Fans quickly dubbed it the Fever's all-injured team picture, pointing out the almost comical nature of how many players seemed sidelined at the same time. Instead of letting it become a depressing visual of the Fever struggles, the players themselves leaned into the humor, and that helped shift the mood. One player who addressed the moment with honesty and a bit of levity was Phoenix Mercury's Sophie Cunningham. Though not a member of the Fever, Cunningham has become known around the league for her outspoken personality, competitive spirit, and willingness to give unfiltered takes. She commented on the photo during a recent media appearance, and her words gave fans an entirely new way to interpret the moment. Cunningham described the viral shot as, quote, cute, and explained that what could have been seen as embarrassing actually spoke volumes about the resilience and camaraderie of the Fever roster. According to Cunningham, the image highlighted something that casual observers might not always notice, that these athletes put their bodies on the line night after night, battling through bumps, bruises, and more serious setbacks. She pointed out that every player in the league has at some point had to grit their teeth through pain, but seeing so many Fever players gathered together in that condition unintentionally created a sense of unity. Instead of pity, Cunningham suggested that fans should appreciate the humor and humanity in the moment. For Caitlin Clark, who has carried a heavy load as a rookie, the photo was another reminder of just how challenging the transition from college to the professional stage can be. Clark has been candid about the physicality of the WNBA, noting that every game feels like a battle against some of the best athletes in the world. In college, Clark was the clear star and focal point for Iowa, but she rarely had to contend with the same relentless pace and defensive intensity she faces in the WNBA. Add in the grind of a condensed schedule and the travel demands, and it's no surprise that minor injuries and nagging pains become part of the daily routine. But Clark wasn't alone in that photo, and that's what made it resonate. Teammates like Nalissa Smith, Erica Wheeler, and others were all there as well, forming what looked like an impromptu support group. Social media users had a field day, with comments ranging from jokes about starting an all-injury lineup to sympathetic notes about the difficulties of the Fever's rebuilding process. Some fans even photoshopped the image into mock sports cards, treating the injured group like a special edition collectible. What stood out most, though, was how the Fever players themselves responded. Instead of shying away from the attention, they reposted memes, laughed at the absurdity of it all, and reminded fans that sometimes you just have to find humor in tough situations. That's part of why Cunningham's description of the scene as cute resonated. It wasn't meant to diminish the real pain these athletes were experiencing, but to spotlight the bond that exists among teammates who are all going through similar struggles. Zooming out a bit, this moment also touches on a larger conversation about injuries in the WNBA. With a 40-game schedule packed into a relatively short season, limited rest between games, and international obligations for many players, the strain on athletes' bodies is immense. Unlike the NBA, where teams can sometimes manage minutes more carefully or afford deeper rotations, WNBA rosters are capped at 12 players. That means even one or two injuries can dramatically change a team's fortunes. For the Fever, having multiple players banged up simultaneously has been a challenge, especially as they work to build chemistry around their young core. Still, moments like these show why fans have been gravitating toward this team. The Fever, led by Clark, are not just about wins and losses, but about building a culture. They've become one of the most talked about franchises in the league, with packed arenas, high TV ratings, and viral clips circulating almost weekly. The injured team picture became another chapter in that story, a symbol of perseverance, humor, and the very human side of professional sports. And Sophie Cunningham's role in amplifying that moment shouldn't be overlooked either. She's quickly become one of the league's most recognizable personalities, someone who doesn't shy away from playful trash talk on the court or candid commentary off it. By calling the photo cute, she gave it an entirely different spin, showing how even rival players can appreciate the humanity of their competitors. It's a reminder that while the WNBA is fiercely competitive, it's also a community where players respect one another's journeys. As the Fever continue their season, fans will be keeping an eye not only on their progress in the standings, but also on how the team manages the physical toll of such a demanding schedule. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the hope is that the roster can stay healthy enough to build consistency and push for brighter days ahead. But even if injuries continue to be a hurdle, this team has already shown it can turn setbacks into moments of connection with fans. In the end, that viral injured team picture may go down as more than just a meme. It might be remembered as one of those small but meaningful moments that define the Fever season. It showed resilience, it showed humor, and it showed why fans love this team, even through its struggles. That's all for this edition of WNBA Trending. I'm Ava, and we'll continue bringing you the latest updates, stories, and behind-the-scenes moments from around the league. Be sure to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more coverage as the WNBA season unfolds.